So let's talk about carnivores. You know, those animals that mainly eat meat? Well, here's the deal. Evidence suggests that humans are actually carnivores too. In this video, I'm going to break down 11 solid points that'll leave you totally convinced that we're designed to thrive on meat. So let's start from the very top of human anatomy with point number 1. Take a look at these animals. Notice anything different? Humans, like wolves, lions, and bears, have forward facing eyes, and this evolutionary placement is 100% by design. It gives us excellent depth perception, which is essential for hunting and tracking prey. Unlike herbivores, who usually have their eyes on the sides for a broader view to spot predators, our eye setup is all about precision. It really highlights our evolutionary path as hunters, relying on our visual acuity to pinpoint exactly where our next meal will be. Let's talk about our stomachs. For carnivorous species, having an acidic stomach is absolutely crucial. Why? Because meat spoils much faster than plants, leading to a buildup of bacteria. An acidic environment helps break that down effectively and keeps us safe from potential harm. So if you guys don't know how it works, the lower the pH number is, the more acidic the stomach is. To really visualize this, our stomach has a pH of about 1.5. Pretty impressive, right? That's similar to the stomachs of lions and wolves, which sit between 1 and 2. Compare that to cows, which have a pH of around 4 to 6. Even elephants range from 6 to 7.5. Our closest primate relatives, chimpanzees, fall between 4 and 5. So, not only do we have a much more acidic stomach than herbivores, but one of the few species with a more acidic stomach than us is the vulture, which hovers around a pH of 1. They're scavengers feasting on carcasses that have been around for a while, and that means lots of bacteria.
The next point is the toxicity of plants. Every single plant, including vegetables, that many people eat on a daily basis have a long list of toxic defense compounds. The reason for this is because plants can't run away or fight back like animals can. So instead, they have to defend themselves through biowarfare. These defense compounds can cause us serious harm. Whereas in meat, because animals can defend themselves through methods such as kicking, punching, and running, there are none of these defense compounds present.
Here's the kicker. Humans lack the adaptations needed to break down these plant toxins effectively. Certain animals can eat specific types of plants thanks to special digestive features. Take the gorilla, for example. They have a large cecum and colon that allow them to ferment their plant-based diet. During this fermentation, they convert high-fiber foods into short-chain fatty acids, which provides energy. In contrast, when humans consume fiber, it counts as 0 calories. We struggle to digest it, and while it may pass through us, it can actually cause gut damage on its way out. Gorillas, however, can convert fiber into energy. Their digestive systems are tailor-made for breaking down plant toxins, while we simply lack those adaptations. And especially if you're transitioning off a high-fiber or standard American diet, relying on a high-quality electrolyte supplement could be hugely helpful for all of you carnivores, especially those of you experiencing carb withdrawals, headaches, muscle cramping, and those nasty adaptation symptoms. This right here is the one that I recommend, and it is from the brand Element, and very specifically this teal colored box. It is labeled raw unflavored, and it literally just has the 3 ingredients our body needs: sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Now, if you're sensitive to store-bought electrolytes, I've shown you how to make them at home by yourself in a recent video, but if you're one of those carnivores that is always in a pinch for time, or you just don't want to go through the trouble, Element is a great option. Here's what the little packets look like. You just rip one open, pour in whatever you're drinking, mix it up, drink it down, and you're good to go. You all can get a free sample pack with any purchase if you go to the URL shown on the screen, drinkelement.com/SPGAL. I've also linked them down below.
The fifth reason is that we are very different to other primates. You often hear the argument that because our closest relatives in the chimpanzee eat plants, that means we should too. But this logic doesn't make sense. We're fundamentally very different from these species. We have shorter intestines that can't ferment plants the same way. We have the highly acidic stomach, and we have a number of different anatomical adaptations that set us apart, which we'll discuss later in the video.
Let's talk fats. And not just any fats, but the specific kinds our bodies need for proper functioning, especially for brain health. The human brain is made up of carbon 20 and 22 fatty acids found abundantly in meat. We're talking about crucial compounds like DHA and EPA, which are essential for our cognitive function. On the flip side, Plants mostly provide 18 carbon fatty acids. We can convert these to some extent, but our ability to do so is weak. That has had a major impact on us over the last 12,000 years since shifting our diets toward more plant-oriented options. Since then, our brains have actually shrunk by about 11%.
The next reason is due to missing nutrients in plants. There are many nutrients that literally cannot be found in plants. Creatine, carnitine, vitamin B12, the carbon 20 and 22 fatty acids that Bella just talked about. In fact, with creatine, it is the most researched supplement in the entire world. And time again, we find that creatine supplementation significantly improves brain function. Without these essential nutrients and fats, our brain capability takes a serious hit.
Another fascinating anatomical feature is our unique throwing arm. Humans are the only species that can throw objects with such precision and power. Just take a moment to watch a baseball game, and you'll see it in action. This unique ability didn't evolve from picking fruit or gathering plants. It developed so we could hurl spears and hunt animals effectively. Luckily, nowadays, it is so much easier to find carnivore-friendly snacks where throwing spears is optional. And this carnivore bar is exactly that. It is a fatty pemmican bar made of only beef and beef fat. My husband loves their honey barbecue flavor. I personally love their unsalted plain flavor. We take this whenever we're on road trips, traveling, on the go, and busy, as it really fuels us up efficiently. If you guys want to check them out, I'll make sure to link them down below. You can use my discount code SBGAL.
When we look at our fossils from 12,000 years ago and prior, they have very high nitrogen-15 ratings. But what does this even mean? Well, animal tissue has much higher concentrations of nitrogen than plant material. So when you analyze the N15 rating of a fossil, you can determine exactly what that animal ate. Now, in all of these old fossils, we didn't just have high nitrogen 15 ratings, we had the highest on the planet. Higher than wolves, lions, tigers, you name it, humans were the apex predator, hypercarnivores. Now, what's also very interesting about these fossils that we find from 12,000 years ago and prior is that they had very few lesions and markings on them. When we find lesions and markings on a fossil, we can determine the person that fossil came from had some sort of disease, or at least some sort of infection. So when humans were eating only meat, our fossils were free from disease and free from infection. But all the fossils we've found in the last 12,000 years, since we've started agriculture and therefore eating a lot more plants, these fossils, they do have the lesions and markings. In that time, our teeth have also become more crooked. Our brains have shrunk. Since humans have started agriculture, it has been incredibly detrimental to human health.
Let's take a moment to think about this logically. If there was one food out there that provided all the nutrients we need in just the right amounts without any of those pesky toxic defense compounds, wouldn't it make sense that we would want to eat that? That food is meat. It's packed with everything our body craves, and it's pretty much nature's multivitamin. Even herbivores seem to get this fact on some level. Ever seen a clip of an herbivore animal taking down another animal? It's not just a fluke. This behavior suggests that some herbivores resort to eating meat not out of preference, but because they aren't able to hunt effectively or consistently due to their physical or cognitive limitations. Finally, let's touch on something that really speaks to our primal side. Intuition. Every animal out there has a natural instinct about what they should eat. There aren't any scientists advising lions on their diets. They just rely on their instincts. And what about us humans? Well, think about it. If you give a kid broccoli, what's likely going to happen? They might just burst into tears. Our taste buds are naturally drawn to what we instinctively crave, and that often means seeking out rich, nutrient-dense foods like meat. It's our body's way of telling us what we truly need to thrive. Not all of you will be convinced that humans are carnivores, but for those of you who are, finding a tribe of like-minded people will make all the difference on your carnivore journey. Just look at our ancestors and how they always stuck with their tribe to survive. That's exactly why I encourage all of you new carnivores to come and join a carnivore community. It doesn't have to be mine, but if you're looking for a really great one filled with lots of passionate meat eaters and carnivores alike, I welcome you all to join us in the Steak and Butter Gang. After 6 years of being carnivore, and especially during a time where the diet was pretty much considered crazy and weird, I created this community to be a safe place for all of you to mingle, learn, and support each other. Now that we're over 15,000 carnivores strong in 2025, I can honestly say that whether you're here to learn or just make a carnivore friend in your local area, the Steak and Butter Gang is a one-stop shop for all carnivores of every level. Just go to the URL shown on the screen, sbgmeetup.com, or check out the links in the description box for clickable links. I'll see you in my next one. SBG out.